All right, I think we're live. Let me just check real quick. Wait for people to join. Hopefully everybody had a good Memorial Day weekend. And right before we start, I guess I didn't actually prepare for this meeting, but I'm gonna try to make the best of it. And whoever has questions, they could drop them in the live chat. I think the first thing I want to go over is, since we're getting ready to start this 5K challenge, I want to go over some basics that I think are really basic, and a lot of people might be like, "Oh, this is kind of boring," but um, is in my opinion one of like the most important things I want to go over when I'm uh, that I look at when I'm looking at the market. So, um, and it's gonna seem real simple, but this is how it is. Um, and it's the price action. And I guess before I start, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat, and then I'll respond to them. But I want to go over this price action thing because I don't know if you guys have watched any of my other videos, but I always um, go over this a little bit in the videos. So, all right, for the price action, what I look at is, first I'll start off on like, I call this like price action, like progression. So on the 1 minute, what you look at on the 1 minute at any point. So the 1 minute is probably the one that I least look at during the day, but it is important if you're trying to like catch scalps more importantly. So for the 1 minute, what you're pretty much going to look at, you see here we're looking at SPX 1 minute chart, right? So what I always look for is the trend. So you see the 1 minute is intact here, and then at some point it's lost, right? So here it's lost, and the progression is, for me, on the 1 minute, once the 1 minute is lost, you're looking for a 5 minute higher low compared to that low right there. So then after the 1 minute is lost, you go to the 5 minute. All right. So boom, right here you can see pretty much on the 5 minute, if I can get this chart right. Computer's a little laggy right here. So you see here we got now a 5 minute uptrend. So we have that low there, and then we made another 5 minute low. So you guys can see that pretty clearly, right? So we got a higher low, and then another higher low, and then this 5 minute is going to continue until we lose the 5 minute, right? And for those of you that don't know what I mean by lose the 5 minute or the 1 minute, um, here's an example up here of losing the 5 minute trend. So right around here, this was our last, the last low, and we needed to make, another higher low up here somewhere, but we broke through it. So pretty much the 5 minute is lost, right? So after you end the 5 minute uptrend, so once that ends, then you switch over to the 1 hour, or at least that's what I do. So 1 hour, so up here somewhere, there was a 5 minute trend loss somewhere in this area, all right? And we're looking for example, on this chart, we're looking for a 1 hour higher low. So here's our last low, and we're looking for a higher low, something like this, compared to that one, right? Compared to that 1 hour low. So for example, this chart, the the SPX, I would say this one, the most important time frame to be looking at is the 1 hour, right? If you're in the 1 minute or 5 minute, you're just gonna be like lost pretty much, right? So it's always most important to determine which time frame is the most relevant to right now. So for example, SPX, I would say the 1 hour hasn't been lost. So I showed you guys up here, like the 5 minute was lost, right? Now we got a 1 hour downtrend, right? Which could be like consolidation. So yeah, technically, yeah, the 1 hour is lost here, right? If you guys can see up here, way up there where I drew that. So there was like a little bounce attempt here and it was lost. And this doesn't always work. And the situations where it doesn't work is one of two things. So it's either like a downtrend where it's failing, or sometimes what happens is we get a little pattern that consolidates like this. And I think all of you in the chat know what this is, right? So this is a bull flag, like consolidation, 1 hour consolidation, and then an uptrend. All right, so that's the times when what I'm talking about, price action progression, it doesn't work, is when there's like consolidation or like choppiness. That's like the only time it doesn't work. So what happens when the 1 hour is lost here? Then you look at the 1 day chart, right? So I go 1 minute, 5 minute, 1 hour, 1 day, and then 1 week, and then 1 month sometimes, right? That's less relevant. All right, so if I switch this one to the 1 day, so this one's like not that clear here, but if I change to the 1 day, see, now we have clarity here, right? So we're on a 1 day uptrend on SPX, and what you're trying to see here is for a healthy move on SPX would be for the, so here's our low, and then another low, and then we broke resistance up here, broke resistance, and what we want to see is the trend change, right? So we got a low, higher low, and then a trend change. This is official trend change. So the trend is changing to the bulls there if that happens. So the most important thing for SPX is to top out on the 1 hour, whenever that is. It's kind of topping out now, and then create a daily higher low compared to the one down here, and change the trend. All right, so this may seem like, very obvious, but I think a lot of people don't know. Sometimes people think that the market's just gonna go up in a straight line when it's bullish. Like here it did. You see that? Like in this period over here. I'm trying to draw it. So up here, this is where this is like a bullshit move. Okay. So like right here. The reason I say it's a bullshit move is because it never confirmed this like a trend change, how I explained it over here, right? I said this is what you need for a trend change. You need a higher low and then continue upward. So what did it do up here? It just like went straight up and the bulls got tired and then it dumped, right? So what they needed to do was create a higher low there and then this to continue up, right? Which never happened, or they tried to like attempt it here and needed to go further above that, above this high up here, but that never happened. So that's how the move is a little phony, in my opinion. So if this were to continue up, I would say this is kind of a fake move, right? It needs to do a Nice consolidation in that way, and then continue up. So, all right, so how is this important for our 5K challenge? This is very important because sometimes people don't know when to sell. I think the most gains you're gonna make are gonna be either like on this daily, but this was not easy to catch, and but on the 1 hour is when you're gonna make your most gains. So whenever you can identify a 1 hour move upwards, that's like probably when you're gonna make your most gains. So something like this. So we had our so SPX is actually a little different than SPY because it trades like most of the day. But if I showed you this on SPY, we had a low here, and then this is what I talked about, trend change, something like this, where it continued up. This is a little choppy, but uh, generally speaking, a 1 hour trend change will lead to the biggest moves. And so once you're on the one hour time frames, you're pretty much looking to when is it going to reverse. Um, so here, that's where we reversed there initially, right? So I guarantee there's a 5 minute like double top or like bearish pattern. So if I scroll back again, let me try to find this. Okay, so there's that line where I drew it. We start going back down. So right around there, you can see that the 5 minute got lost. So if you were in a trade for calls, right, that would be the spot where you're selling, right, the best spot. And SPX actually might not be a good example. So let me go to QQQ. So what you want to do is catch like a 5 minute trend change that eventually turns into a 1 hour trend change. But I'll explain a little more right now in a couple minutes. And then I'll just go over the market, what we're looking at for the week. So you see down here, for example, here's your 5 minute trend change, right? Down here where there's yellow line and the green line meet. So we got our low, higher low, and then we bounce really hard, right? And then you've got a nice consolidation. And then you've got a run up. All right. And then your 5 minute got lost somewhere around here, right? Something happened there, got lost, right? We even went under that last low. Sorry, that was a little sloppy. Um, so like, for example, this, if you see a nice run up like that and then some choppiness, you probably want to sell because what's happening is that progression, right? I just talked about it. 5 minute, your last 5 minute low was right there. So what's happening now that 5 minute uptrend is breaking, now you're looking at the 1 hour, right? So your last 1 hour was way down here at 280, right? I think that's what a lot of people don't get. Once your 5 minute uptrend is broken, you want to be out of that trade because the next thing that's going to happen is either like a bull flag or your 1 hour um, your 1 hour higher low, right? And a 1 hour higher low can be a huge move. So damn, my computer's lagging. It could be a huge move on the 1 hour, right? What the fuck? And this shit is tripping. What the fuck? All right, sorry, I had a little trouble All right, so where's 280? So right here. So you had your low here at 280. And then what's happening there, you see it broke from yesterday. A lot of people get scared, right? They're like, what? Oh shit, what the hell's happening? My calls got wrecked, you know? Calls got wrecked from yesterday, right? But any experienced trader would know that's just a 1 hour higher low, right? And then you see here on a 1 hour, it's a nice move, right? From what was it, 287, $5 move, right? But then once the 1 hour is lost, then you're looking for a daily. So now we're back all the way down here. So when you have a 1 hour move to the upside, your next bounce is going to be like big, right? 1 hour move is going to be big because you're looking for a daily. So after the 1 hour, you're looking for a daily higher low, and your last daily low was all the way down here, 280. So when you're on a 1 hour uptrend, you really have to be careful because then uh, you can drop all the way down here and still be bullish, right? So where we at 280. So if I switch to the 1 day, all right. So that's how I like try to explain, why it's important to be in the right time frame. Some people are like, oh, look at this time, look at this stock on the 1 minute. Like I don't want to look at that on the 1 minute most of the time because I'm looking at it like like on the right time. I'm trying to look at it on the right time frame where it should be, right? So look, so that was our 280, and then we got a daily higher low right here around 281, 282, and then this is like you see that big move on the one day. So here, QQQ caught a good move in my opinion, right? Trend change. See, it broke above this resistance 306 and it changed the trend correctly. So for me, QQ is really strong right now. It's like following all of the you know, technical ways to go up. So for next week, what can we expect, right? So I just ran through that whole thing, and what we determined was that the most important time frame for us right now is this one right here, the 1 hour. I mean the 1 day time frame. All right. So now the next time this pulls back on the daily, it can do it in two ways that I already explained, right? So it can make a higher low anywhere above 282. So it can do all right this like anywhere at any point and go up, and preferably it does it like quickly and like a small drop and continues up. And the best way is obviously, a little bull flag and then up, right? So this is what I'm watching for the week. QQQ, we're looking at where is this going to top out. So right now it's on a daily uptrend. Let's see, hourly. I think the hourly might also be on an uptrend, but it needs another daily like consolidation, like a pullback. So for the 1 hour, yeah. So the next thing will be like a 1 hour pullback on the QQQ, right? So we had this little like bull flag, and then it broke up, and then this looks like right now it's gonna keep going up a little more, and so another mini lesson is to gauge this move, we're gonna look at our Fibonacci. I love looking at the Fibonacci. A lot of times it leads to like good trades. So it's on on a daily uptrend, which means we were on a weekly downtrend. All right, so this is how I'm gonna gauge this move. All right, if you guys can see this, this will be really clear on the weekly, right? We had this weekly downtrend. We kind of tried to break above last time that we ran up in March. All right, and we've been going down ever since then on a daily downtrend all the way since 400. So low, lower low, and then this was our lower low at 280. All right, so we're gonna use our Fibonacci to measure this move to see how strong, or if we should believe the bulls, if the bulls are back for real. All right, so right now you can see, so on the weekly you can see the clear resistance up there at 370, right? Everybody can see that. And then let me delete some of these lines. These are a little distracting. So we broke this 306. What other lines I have? This is already old. All right, so we have a couple resistances. I think like on the daily chart, 330, 347. And what this tells me is this is still a weak bounce. I mean, I know it looks strong. That candle looks really nice. But for this move to be strong, I would need it to get all the way at least to the 337 level, this 618. That's when I will believe that like the bulls are back. Like if it gets all the way up here and then does something like this on the weekly and crosses this, that's when I'll believe the bulls are actually back. So with that being said, we still got a long way to go. So I think this bounce can continue, but I'm still bearish until then. Cautiously bearish, right? I still want to play calls, catch some of this move. I think this move can at least minimum go to 316 tomorrow or like next week. So we're going to be looking for some nice entries. How I explained, like a little bull flag, little pullback. We'll try to get into those, try to snipe them nicely. Um, but yeah, we're just looking for this 1 day move to top out. And just like I said, right, we had this low, higher low. Oh shit. Low, higher low at 282. And this has been running quite a bit. Maybe it'll get to 316, pull back here, and continue up, right? Something along those lines, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking for tomorrow. But for me, it's a little tricky because I'm still bearish, especially with like the interest rate hikes. And we're like on the verge of a recession. Just one more quarter and we'll be in a recession. So I think this is just kind of like, in my opinion, this might just be a run up, because look at the weekly chart. We got a long way to go. Yeah, we got a long ass way to go, like 370. We got to get over 370, in my opinion. So that's like what, $60. That's like a huge fucking move. Like I don't see it happening, but it could, it could. Definitely could, but I need to see more of that progression, right? I need to see the weekly chart look crazy like this and then, continue up. But I think we're gonna try to catch some bull moves until the bears show up again. Who knows when that'll be? But definitely QQQ is gonna be one of my plays. Apple. Let's take a look at Apple, because Apple is like the strongest stock. Apple is like probably, I don't know, recession proof in my opinion. So we're gonna try to do the same thing on Apple that I just explained. So we'll probably I'll try to look for any good patterns like a bull flag or something like that. But we're gonna use our fib, and we're gonna at least try to get to 153. I think it can get to 158, right? That's the 50% retracement. All right. So 50%, that's like still bearish, right? If it gets to 50%, so if it gets to like 38%, that's for sure bearish, and then it starts coming down, that's kind of bearish to me. But we'll try to catch as much of this move as we can to, I think it could go to the 158, right? And another one that I'm looking for on the week is anything related to Bitcoin. So there's Coinbase, there's MARA. Those will all be going up because we broke this pattern that I was looking at for a while. So we bottomed out at that 28,600 kind of level. We bottomed out there, and this thing is so slow. Let me look at it on the one. I think the 12-hour was the most clear. So those were my mini lessons for today, pretty much. The price action thing, which I'll try to do a whole nother video on that, like, so you guys don't have to look back at this one. Price action, and then the most other important thing that I use is the Fibonacci, and then obviously price levels. You want to map out all your 1 hour price levels, 1 day, and obviously the weekly, those are going to be a little far, but just like price levels. And that's the main things I use, guys. Um, what's another thing I use? RSI. So if something's up here in like 90 RSI, you don't want to be buying when the RSI is 90. Like that's like ridiculous. Um, and same thing, you don't want to be shorting when the RSI is like 18, right? You're not gonna short this. Like that would be crazy, right? That's like RSI is kind of telling you like this is oversold, and up here at 90 or whatever, 70, above 70, it's overbought, right? All right, so Bitcoin uh broke out of this little wedge, so it's got a nice move. And see the time frames on Bitcoin are a little different. Okay, so on Bitcoin I kind of look at the 12-hour, daily, and like the 1 hour, because if you look at the 5 minute, it just looks like shit. Like it's because it trades 24 hours, it's a little different. But yeah, 12-hour, you can see clearly it kept rejecting this yellow line, and then it broke up. And now what we're looking for is a 12-hour consolidation or another little trend change to keep that going up. All right, so it might pull back like tomorrow, like maybe a bull flag. And maybe if we looked at this like on the 4-hour. So yeah, you see here, 4-hour. Check that out. 4-hour, we had a little consolidation, boom, broke up. So that's what I'm trying to look at, 4-hour. If this is doing this little, you know, up and down sideways action, we'll get into, I think either Coinbase or MARA. That'll be a good one because you can, size in a lot of contracts because they're only $10. It's only $10 right now. So we'll just keep an eye on MARA, right? If it doesn't cross this level tomorrow, 3,200, we will play some calls, right? If it's consolidating. Consolidating sideways, we'll look at it in the morning and then try to get in when it's a little low, when it's not moving up, right? That's another thing. You want to catch calls, for example. Obviously, I mean, this is gonna sound like stupid, right? You want to catch calls when the price is low and can go up, right? Or when the price is consolidating in a nice pattern in an uptrend, right? You don't want to buy calls like on this candle, right? Because you're gonna probably the speed of the move is high, so you're gonna get a bad price. Down here, like in this consolidation, right? This is, I mean, it's gonna sound really obvious to a lot of you, but it's easy to get a good price in this range, right? Because it's just moving down, up and down. It's kind of in the same price. When this hits, you're gonna get a like crazy price, right? So it's better to buy during the consolidation sometimes, and sometimes it's better to wait for the break. It just depends on the time. All right, so we're looking at QQQ, Apple, MARA. Another one that we missed. So last week I kind of got bearish. I thought the bearishness might continue, but obviously was wrong on that. But there's also NVDA that I missed. That the same day that I shorted QQQ, I should have got into this first, but I got a little distracted. So Nvidia had this nice wedge pattern, just like the one I just showed on Bitcoin. All right, had this like wedge. You guys can see it there, and it just like broke above, right? Nice 2 days. And I think this one could continue up. I mean, the earnings was good. In general, I think NVDA is a pretty strong company. So I'd like to catch some calls. Plus, the other thing that I was going to show you guys was like this last daily downtrend. This is already at the 68%, right? So that's a really strong move, like super strong move. If it does pull back, more than likely it will continue up. So that's what I like there on NVDA. So let's look at the weekly, see if that looks strong as well. So we got a couple plays, and I mean, you guys are welcome to play your own like uh, calls or whatever that you guys are looking at, but I'll be giving out mine and I'll try to make sure 100% because I know some people just have the 5K. So like I really feel like shit when I give like a bad play and people lose a lot of money. So I'll try to just give like the more risk less risk plays, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, this was the 1 week. Yeah, that looks, would you guys call that a bounce? Not really, right? So let's look where we are up here. So I think the last high was up here then. Okay, so in that case, we've only bounced to like 23%, so that's kind of weak. Unless you're counting this as a bounce, which I mean, it doesn't really look that much like a bounce. It was like a bounce attempt, but like a weak one. But in any case, we'll still try to catch this up to the 38%, which is like 206. It definitely can get to 200 because it's already 188, right? So that's kind of like an easy play right there on NVDA. So NVDA, Apple, and like MARA, anything related to Bitcoin, we can play those for tomorrow. All right, so that's what I'm gonna be looking at, guys. If any of you are looking at any names, let me know in the chat or let me check the Discord. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody mentioned any tickers. I know Tesla's another popular one. So this one actually looks maybe a little weaker than, I don't know if it looks weaker, but let's see. So the 1 week move is only, I guess I would count it from there. That was a little bounce. It's up over the 23%. So this one can definitely get to 800. This 38%, at least to 800. So Tesla might also be another one. But to be honest, guys, for a 5K account, Tesla is not really good because your contracts are going to be like what, 2 grand if you get any good ones. And that's the other thing I want to explain of how I look at like call options is I usually try to get around the money. So around the money means like right now Tesla's 759, so I'll try to get like 760 calls or something that's reachable. Because the more you're in the money, the better the delta. So the delta is how much per dollar move on the stock, how much the contract is going to move. So you want to have a delta like over 50 cents, like zero point 0.5, right? So you want every time the stock moves up a dollar, you want to get 50 cents on your contract or higher, right? And the way to do that is to be close to the money. So that's how I like to get my calls. I know some people like to play like so let's say my target price was 800, people get 800 calls. We could do that if the contracts are not too high priced, but probably I'll be staying away from Tesla because sometimes you have to average down, and with Tesla you can't really average down too much with the 5K account on any good contracts. So probably be sticking to like Apple, QQQ. Those are more like lower priced options, which I think are better for the 5K challenge. But if I see a good opportunity, I'll take it on Tesla and I'll signal it. But yeah, definitely Tesla can get up there to 800. Um, what else was I looking at? CGC. Was I still in CGC? I can't remember if I swung it or not. All right, so yeah, CGC, I think I was looking at this downtrending pattern, but if it starts turning red tomorrow, I'll probably exit out because this can um, still go downwards, right? It's on a downward wedge, and it's not near the like the point of the, god damn it, it's just tripping me out. Yeah, it's not down there towards the point of the fuck, how do you delete this? All right, sorry. Yeah, it's on a 1 hour downtrending wedge, but this can still start falling down. So if it breaks this 460, I'll be out. I'm not in love with this. It just had a gap. That's the only thing I saw, like this wedge. Like if it gets up here to 560, I'll probably exit out as well. Because this is probably, gonna continue down until it breaks above, right? So CGC, so oil names, those will probably be up big tomorrow. I think the barrels went up or some shit, cost per barrel. So I was looking at this name right here, HUSA, Houston Oil Company or something. So this one could be like, it has potential to be a banger because if you look at the 1 week chart, this could like explode at any point. It's such a small um like the cap is really small, so it doesn't take a lot to like pump and dump this, right? So you see here it ran up all the way to 17 bucks. So and now it's on this wedge pattern, right? See this little wedge? I think it's might be a daily or a 1 hour wedge. So nice 1 hour wedge is breaking above. And if you guys aren't in this can still be a good move, a good one to catch, right? Oil's booming, and then if it, continues up above this resistance so it already broke one resistance, 376, around there. If it continues tomorrow, I would definitely get into this one, maybe some contracts like a little further out. I think this one can boom again, right? So the last boom was in March, and then we're already in June, so good time to consolidate and maybe head up. if it doesn't go all the way to 16, maybe at least, $10, that would be nice, right? $8, whatever. It'll be a nice strong move to the upside. And then this might be a good time when you guys can see like this. I have this like squeeze indicator. I mean, it's squeezing, right? Just by looking at the chart, but sometimes, this will help you to visualize the squeeze, right? So like here, there was a squeeze and then boom, it shot up to $16. All right, so that's another indicator that I use there. I know some people were looking at CVX, I think, Chevron. So that's another good one. But the way that this one's a lot different, right? This is like consolidating really hard for like 2-3 months and has potential to run up. Whereas CVX is like an actual like really good company. I mean, they probably make a lot of money. And right now, obviously, is a good time for oil companies because they're raking in the dough. And this has been like on a huge uptrend, and it just broke. It's in a blue sky breakout, right? There's like no resistance up here, nothing. So this could be a good one for like maybe get some calls for the end of the summer, like August. Um, and it'll just continue to pay you for the whole summer because gas is gonna go up, guaranteed. So that's how I would play Chevron, and then just keep your stop loss at that breakout point, which is support now. Um, so that green line, 175, right around 175. That should be your like stop loss, because the next stop loss is way down here at 160, 162, right around 163. So that's a long way. You don't want to wait till then to get out. All right. Or you could just like zoom in and see, it's probably on a 1 hour uptrend, right? And yeah, like you can see there, the 1 hour is right around 176, right? That's the last 1 hour low. So that's how you're gonna want to set your stop loss right there for this. But yeah, guys, I think we're pretty much went over most of what I wanted to go over. The the time frame progression. You want to be always in the right time frame, or at least one of the two time frames. Like right now in QQQ, we're on the 1 day uptrend and like 1 hour also. Those haven't broken, so those are the two most important for me. Um, and then what else did I go over? Um, just setting your levels every day. Try to be consistent so you know where those levels are, what your targets are. Um, Damn, I can't remember what I went over. Always check the RSI. You don't want to be buying on the most important time frame. Like right now on QQQ, we're on the 1 day. You don't want to buy calls when the RSI on the daily is up at 70, right? You're setting yourself up for failure right there. So just those little things. I kind of wanted to, show you how I go through the trades, how I think about things, and we got some good plays for tomorrow, I think. Overall, I think the market will continue up. QQQ, Apple, um, MARA. So let's look at MARA because that might be the best one. And the HUSA one that I showed you, like the related to gas, because that one was in consolidation and now it's breaking above. So that'll be a nice at the beginning I said you want to catch those 1 hour moves because those are the biggest ones. 1 hour and 1 day moves will be the highest reward. Because obviously 1 day move is going to be, for a whole day. The candle is going to be one whole day of going up versus a 5 minute move can be, you know, 5 minute, like 20 minutes, and then it goes down, right? That's like kind of obvious. It makes sense. Makes sense to me at least. All right, so yeah, MARA, I can see right now, clear level. Um, I think we'll probably be above this level here. Let me move this one. So I think we'll get into MARA if it breaks this 1047. We're on a 1 hour uptrend, and then the daily held down there at 880. Let's see if we don't have a daily trend change yet. So the most important one on MARA is the 1 hour, and we'll just set our target up here at target one will be right around 1070, and then 1090. See, this is kind of like, I don't like this already. A lot of resistances like close to each other. Um, so we've got those levels right there: 1070, 1091, 1125, and then 12. I think 12 would be my ideal, um, target, because this is the one on the daily. Let's go. Let's go, fellas. I feel good. I feel like everyone in here has, like, whether you guys have lost money, like, you guys aren't like lost, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you guys are no, you know, just have made mistakes here and there. And then with the 5K, you guys will be able to see um like sizing. When do I like size in bigger than other times? So I think for the first week we'll try to get some good base hits. We're not gonna go like we're not gonna full port the first play, and be done with it, right? But if there is that opportunity, I'm not against it. But you know, I feel like some good, base hits will get our, confidence up, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Cause I just like to think like the market's gonna give me whatever it's gonna give me. Like, I can't make it go up, right? So this would be a nice move here on MARA up to 12 bucks. Right, held the low 880, but this still needs a trend change on the daily. Yeah, yeah, the stop losses, yeah, I'm for sure gonna give all those for every play. If I don't give those for every play, you know, don't get in if I don't give either like a stop loss or a target. Um, and then yeah, I think MARA I want to target 12, but there's a lot of resistances there, so this might be a tricky one. All right, let's look at Apple one more time and then we'll log off. Yeah, consistency I think is um, the best thing, because I think a lot of traders and even like you guys might be the same. And like when I started, like I would make like big bucks like one day, and then I'll just give it all back like in a week or in the next play. So that's part of the learning process. That's part of, like, a lot of people don't know, like, that first thing I explained, the price action progression. Like, you might be at the end of a 1 day move, and then the next drop is gonna be a 1 day drop or 2 3 day drop, and you just get screwed because you just don't know that, like, um you know so Apple, 1 hour uptrend, Let me mark the last low. Last low was right here. We had a little bull flag right around 148. All right, so for tomorrow, anything above 147.91 would be still bullish. So if we can get in here, depending on where we open, like if we open up, I won't get in. I'll just wait for like either a bull flag like this little one that happened here, or for it to drop like this and get in around 148, size in, not size in, I mean make a couple, scale in is what I'm trying to say. Try to scale in, make a couple entries, one here, one here, and then obviously if it breaks, wait for a bounce and get out, right? Because this is going to be the start of a 1 hour downtrend, right? Hopefully you guys understood that. All right, so either bull flag or scale in a couple times, right? Before this 148, right? So do something like this. If it breaks it, then we'll get out on the next bounce because it's going to be a 1 hour downtrend, right? So that's what I'm looking at for Apple. Has to stay over 148, or what is this one? I think it's 148. Yeah, right around 148. If it breaks 148, then we're starting bearishness, right? But I think this is gonna open up maybe around 150. We'll wait for a little pullback or a bull flag to get in. And pretty much, yeah, guys, I'll be signaling everything out tomorrow. I might be a little busy, but I'll try to get get us into a position early on in the morning. And it's either going to be Apple or that HUSA, or QQQ, because we can play 0 days on that. So, all right, hopefully everyone learned something. Hopefully you guys are feeling good. Everybody get good sleep tonight. That's also important because sometimes, I don't sleep good at night and then I wake up tired and, my brain's not at 100%. So we got to be consistent if you want to make money in the stock market, especially now that, things are a little trickier than last year. Last year was probably the easiest year out of all the years that I've traded. Like it just went up the whole time. You could have just bought calls a year out and made money, right? So yeah, everybody get good rest. And I feel like we're gonna kill it. I think we got a good group. A lot of you have been signaling good plays. And yeah, now that you guys know kind of what I look for, hopefully, even you guys could give out plays. Like I don't care. As long as you guys got a clear stop level. Like for example, QQQ pulls back here. Like if we were to pull back, I always like to get in where there's a clear stop, right? So your stop is 300, 298. So you've got small range to lose, and then you can get all the way back to 310. So you got $2 to lose and $10 to gain, for example. High risk, high reward plays. That's what I try to get into. So, um, I know like a lot of this seems like really basic, and I'm sure like a lot of you know it, but it's easy to get distracted and not follow that. So that's why I try to keep saying it in the videos. And if whoever doesn't know it, like they can learn it, right? So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna look for tomorrow, guys. Everybody have a good night, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.